Welcome to the Awesome. I'm Big Ro, and this is the Strike Force Massive Launch Podcast. Here's my co-host, Chewburger84.
Thank you very much, Roy. How are you this week, mate?
I'm hanging in there, sir. Things are getting a little bit back to normal here in Michigan. Roads are packed, full of idiots that can drive about as well as FoxNext can code, but we'll talk about that more later.
It sounds apocalyptic if that's the analogy that you're using, for sure.
Yep.
And look, and obviously a big shout out and apology from the two of us for not being able to record last week, folks. We had a phenomenal amount going on with our personal lives, so we did announce on our Discord that we were taking a personal week. So if you're ever wondering about if there is going to be any changes to that show, make sure that you are signed up on the Strikeforce Masters and Launch Discord channel, because we will let you know if anything is going south, meaning that you'll have nothing to listen to that week. Now, we've got a lot to talk about today because it has been about, I think it's, 14 days since our last episode, and good God, you know that there's been a lot to talk about when there are 6 blog posts that have been out in such a short period of time, so this is going to be a fun one. But before we go into that, a little bit of admin stuff. So this is obviously the Strikeforce Masters and Launch podcast, and we're able to do this most weeks, or almost every week, and if you'd like to help us continue to keep doing that, you can head on over to www.patreon.com/SFMOL. And Roy, we were mentioning at the start of the month that we'd had a bit of a struggle, I guess, where we had a few sort of patrons fall off through people quitting the game and obviously everything happening with coronavirus. But mate, we have been blown away by the level of support that our guys have shown this month. We've had a significant bump up with people supporting the show. So thank you to every single one of you. I am going to read out your names in a sec. But first of all, let's go through to our new patrons. So to Dan S., as our new apprentice, our new supporter Halcyon, and our new master Dracathor. Thank you very much for signing up. Now, what we're starting to do, because the Patreon is now starting to get a little bit bigger, is we're going to start putting things in the Patreon channels on the actual website now. So we just put up some custom infographics which are only available there, which I'm working on videos for. So the idea is basically there's usually a bit of lag time between when I theory craft things and when I can put them in a video. So if you'd like to be in the middle of that, so you're getting an insight into what we're up to, if you're signing up at Apprentice and above, you get those tiers. So to all of our people supporting us at the moment, so to our supporter level, Admirero, Commander Corsi, Dylan, Chief, Hulk Smash, Kevin, Lunchbox, Squirrel Girl, Fairbear, Skysong, Matches Malone, and Halcyon Days. Thank you very much to all of you. To our apprentices, Snorlax Hunter, Alan G, Franchise CBM, Danelle, Darth, Swain, Jason, Creative Name, Blue Luna, Lily, Marnus, Grim, Run and Gun, Zatiotech, Frozen, Debearded Viking, TT Marco, Immort, Bloodwalker, Jeff M, BG2, JJ Ortiz, Lowry, Dan S, and Dracul. To our journeyman, Andrew M, X23, Beer God, Mookie, The Dawkins, Justin Beard, Mikey H, Neil Wiley, Bird Wiley, Paul Puck, Irish Avenger, Scooter Yule, Chilbo Cravino, Ticken Arthur, Dun and Dun, Realies, Lemon Rust, Big Spartan, Bowslayer, Legriv, Cheetah Hobbs, Hamdesis, and to our masters, the legends, the God amongst men, the people who supported us for so long and really do keep us here every single week. Sandella, Maseo Bart, Liquid Cool, Dragus, Assassin Avenue, Judas, Lord Keen, Moon, Folpsy Schmalpsy, Kane, Spark Zulu, Jackie246, Jay Shriver 138, I should say, Benicus, Tuggernuts, Commander Iceman, Shalasta, Dracathor. Now, you guys have shown us so much extra support this month that is now taking a whole segment to read out all those names. So look, we are definitely investing more time in the Patreon side of things to make sure we're giving back more to all of you. We've kind of had behind the scenes stretch targets before, but we're going to basically add some of those in there so we can do a lot more for you guys going forward. But Roy, obviously, that's how the players who like to spend and support the show can do their thing. How can people, without spending a single dollar, support our podcast?
Yes, you can help support us absolutely free by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. We've got 4 new ones to catch up on from the last 2 weeks. First up, from El Mupa. Awesome podcast from these guys, giving us a mature and sane view of the game we love. All the best. Keep up the good work, Mupa. Very awesome. Next up, from Lazy James's wife, the premier MSF podcast. Oh, I lost my place here. From Australia. All right. A must-listen to podcast for anyone playing Marvel Strike Force, with all the latest news and insight delivered with humor, expert knowledge, and enough salt to keep you anxiously waiting for the next episode. Both Roy and Chew bring their unique perspectives on MSF to the cast, which is a great mix and truly a pleasure to listen to each week. Thanks to you both. Much love from Aus.
Very nice.
Australia. All right. Next up, from Sky 49th, a weekly must-listen. After being introduced to these guys at the beginning of the year, I'm hooked. These two are a real joy to listen to. Anyways, excited to turn in each week to see what kind of new dirt they have to share, and if anyone has any luck in Red Star Watch. We might have some news this week. Their informative and entertaining podcast has kept me playing the game during times I've been ready to quit, so thank you both. And finally, from Dan1387, Essential Listening. There are so many reasons to listen to this podcast. Staying up to date on the news from the game, getting insightful tips about the various game modes, and the pure entertainment coming from Chew and Roy make this something to look forward to every week. I follow and enjoy many content creators from Marvel Strike Force, but the content these guys put out is simply the best. I regret not finding their media sooner. Keep up the strong work, guys. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much for all those awesome reviews, guys. We greatly appreciate it. And to all the 5 million patrons we have now, thank you very much as well.
I wish it was 5 million. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with what we've got, but yeah, how good would that be? This could be our job. Well, isn't that the dream? Hey, people want multiple podcasts per week. That's how you make it happen, folks.
There you go.
Now, one thing as well, something has gone wonky because we did have an influx. So I do an export every week to make sure that we read out everyone's names. And it seems to be the last couple episodes, Roy, that some of them have basically jumped off the spreadsheet. So if your name wasn't read out this week, this is what we're going to be doing for fun going forward. If I miss it, you get to basically type something in our Patreon chat that Roy and I have to read out next week. Now, you know Roy's PG rules. It has to fit within those guidelines. But if it does, we'll do it. If you want one of us to throw like an impression or something silly on the top of it, we can try as a penalty for missing it. Because obviously that's something we definitely don't want to do. I think I got you all this week, but if you can catch me out, I'll definitely pay the forfeit. How's that sound?
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Now, Grimm's name was in there, which was good. Otherwise, we'd have to read off the nutritional labels of bananas, I'm sure. So that's good. Absolutely. Now, let's talk about something really awesome that happened last week, Roy. Now, I was very indirectly a part of it. I guested on a couple of people's streams and podcasts while it was happening because, unfortunately, due to work conflicts of interest, I wasn't able to participate myself. But there was a massive fundraising effort for Doctors Without Borders by the MSF content creators. Did you see how much money those dudes end up raising in the end?
I did not. I heard it was a lot.
Over $15,000 is what I heard, which is incredible. And I heard, I think it was Rem and X's stream was just apparently a joy to watch because people were bombarding these massive donations to the point where it looked like he would just have to lay down with a cigarette afterwards. Is kind of how he reacted. It was pretty great to watch. Like, I mean, we've known that there are big parts of the Marvel Strike Force community where there's really big hearts of a lot of people. Like, people come to Marvel because they have a love of superheroes, and in their own indirect way, probably want to save the world a little bit. And to see that in action, man, was absolutely beautiful. I mean, there was your standard on Reddit that was just like, charity, why would I give to charity? Charities, and just,
you're gonna tell me what to do.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, every community has, some people that, we could probably leave behind. But, unfortunately, we got Dragon with us. But look, that was beautiful. So shout out to all the content creators that participated in that. And I'd say if there's one thing that's happened during the coronavirus, mate, is there's like 1,000 content creators for MSF right now. Yep. It's like everyone's got the time. So it's just like, let's have a go on it. It's insane out there, man. That's it. All right, so we should probably go into our first usual segment of the week. There might be something to talk about for once. But before we do, folks, we're going to be talking about the Red Star mechanics of this game and what we pulled this week. Because this is the result of gambling mechanics, if you are someone who does have a gambling addiction or predisposed to doing so or are under the age of 18, skip forward about 3 minutes from now and you can pick up from there. So let's go right into it, Roy. Red Star Watch. How did you go since our last podcast?
Since you finally have good news, I'll let you go first, sir.
So here's the thing. I should have written down what I got because there was actually a lot of account upgrades for me this time around. I opened something in the ballpark of like 40 orbs. I shouldn't have done it. Do you want to know why I shouldn't have done it? I got 4 reds on Corvus about 5 orbs in, right? Should have just stopped. I'm like, no, I can get 5. Yeah, I can get 5. So I ended up, I think I opened like 40, like an idiot. I shouldn't have done it. But in saying that, this is the most account upgrades I've had in a very, very long time. So the amount of duplicates that I got, I can definitely see with their red rework system, while I now hate most of it, which we're going to talk about later, my opinion's changed very severely since last time. is, you definitely get more shards for dupes. So that works out well, I guess, for people that are buying red stars, which is not where you want to be. But I guess for free-to-play, once you get to a certain point, it does start to stack up. So that's good. So for me this week, Roy, the ones that I remember at least, and I think Jugs was even an upgrade. I think I got a 5 red on Jugs. 5 red on Jugs. There you go. So I got a 4 red Corvus, a 4 red Chavez. Finally got off 1 red star for Red Skull. It's only 3, but anything's better than 1, right? Yep. I got 4 in Chavez. Now, this was a good one. Sinister up to 4 now. He's now at that usable point. So I'm probably going to, even though I'm going to go the minimal strategy, once I've got all the mutants up that I want, I'm going to loop back around and bring him into global anyway for DD3 on the second run, just because it'll make it quicker.
Yeah, because if you can clone that Falcon, it doesn't matter what stars you are. That special is amazing. When there's 10 of them that are buffed on there, it's insane.
And every wave kind of has something like that. So he's not an essential character, but he does make it faster. So I think that now he's usable for me. I'm definitely going to bring him up. I got a 5 red star on Monstrosity. I got a 5 on Heimdall, which is like, it's okay, I guess, for war anyway. But the big one was a 6 red stars on a Vision.
There you go, Hebrew's favorite character.
Now, let me say this. That guy cannot land in arena an ability block to save his freaking life. I was looking forward. I thought, okay, this is good. He's high enough now. I can take him in with the Hella Vision combo. This is going to be amazing. I reckon in the week since I pulled this, I've landed 1 ability block in arena. That's not being dramatic. Literally 1. Everything else was resisted. So, yeah, I pulled him back out. I pulled him straight back out.
Now, was that against something with defense up or just...
No, I tried it on every possible iteration you can think of. I've tried it on like four like star yo-yos and still can't land it. I got to check his focus, but it must be garbage. It must be absolute garbage. So I went from being really excited about that as a pull to like, oh, well, what am I going to do? Power armor once a week? Great. You know? Yep. So look, I mean, a 6 is a 6, but yeah, still rocking at 0.7s, man. I was kind of hoping that like, you know, my time to shine might come soon, but I mean, that's a lot of purples that I pulled, and I pulled obviously that 1 gold. I've been on fire with gold pulls, by the way. I pulled something like 7 million in bonus pulls on the day that I opened my reds. I got a 2 million again today. Like, I cannot stop rolling bonuses on gold. But do you think I can roll a freaking red star that I want? Yeah, so that's always been the case for me, if you remember. Like, with gold drops, I've always done really well. But in terms of red stars and, you know, getting the right upgrades, it's been a bit rough.
Not so much.
How about you, man? How'd you do on Corvus? Did you go after him?
Yes, it did. So,
Did you get a 6?
You clearly didn't, or did you see it in the chat?
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, I pulled 6 red stars on Corvus.
Yeah, that's a decent pull. I don't think it's Proxima level of good, but that's still, I mean, as part of the new meta team. So you've now got a 7 red Thanos and a 6 red Corvus.
Yes. Well, see, it's better than pulling on Proxima, because Proxima you can still upgrade through the store, whereas Corvus we have
fair play. That is a good point. That is a really good point. So yeah, that's a good
What
pull,
made it even more ridiculous is I pulled it on a regular red star orb, and it was my 6th orb that I pulled. So I stopped. Well, I think I pulled a few more, but then I stopped. I'm back up to 38 regular red star orbs. I still have 3 Elite 4s and an Elite 5 saved up, so I will have plenty for Cole.
Comparing notes with a lot of people this week, it seems like the amount of 4 and 5 drops that flew around in red stars was tuned up. Like, I feel like everyone kind of got an account upgrade or 2 this last week or 2. And I think, this is conspiracy talking, of course. There's no proof here. But it just feels like they're like, well, we kind of screwed everyone over with red stars. Let's just make it feel like there was some progression here, right? But then at the same time, going into our first news item of the week, Roy, is Proxima. For all the people that wailed or cawed for her, for Corvus, a lot of people pulled garbage, including myself. The value of those orbs were garbage.
Yep.
Did you pour on him?
I decided to go for it, and I was like, I'll try my luck and pull a Corvus orb. Only got 8 on him, so That kind of sucked. I didn't pull anything else after that. So I did finally pull Captain Marvel to take her to 7 stars. And of course they do the 10 for 10 like yesterday, but that I didn't need it anymore. But it was nice to get her to 7 finally. And I've been pulling Coulson like crazy for the milestone orb.
Oh, yeah?
I think he's only like 30 away from 7.
Oh, wow.
So that would be nice to finish him off.
That's huge. I'm still ages away on both of those. I think I need like 170 on Marvel. Coulson, I'm not even at 6-star yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's 20 away from 7 stars now. He's at 280.
Damn, son. That's right. You always go pretty hard on the milestones. You've done well there. So you must be good. How are you going with Spidey?
Oh, God. So on our last episode that we recorded, I debated on doing the 6 red stars on him using my promo credits.
Oh, yeah?
I decided to go for it.
Yep.
And this is before the milestones came back. And then I realized that I'm not going to be able to get him to 6 this time because the max you can get is 192. So I was like, so I'm going to have to wait until the 3rd time it comes around to really benefit from that. So that kind of sucks.
That does suck, man. I'm sorry to hear. Yeah, right.
I'm surprised they didn't bring back the Back in Black orb. You'd think they'd want people to spin cores. They're doing plenty of other things to make people spin cores now.
They've already done 2 offers for him, though, man. Like, I think clearly he's one of those characters that the more people that advertise that he is God mode for DD3 City, the fact that he can basically solo the first 3 nodes without help, now that we've seen video proof of that.
No, he sucks. I mean, they should just make him farmable right away.
Well, exactly. But,
just put him in Blitzstorm. I mean,
they've always done this. Like, I mean, Minerva was a character that they were like, man, it's a nothing character. We'll just put it in farm. And then people are just like, dude, this thing is wrecking DD2. And they're like, and then now that character's like never released. You know what I mean?
So, like it happened again.
Damn it, Jeff. So, yeah. It's just one of those things, I think, man, that they're just going to try and milk that for a long time. He'll stay in milestones for, I don't know, many rotations. So we'll see how that goes. Now, the Proxima campaign ended yesterday. Where did you end up on her?
Well, I did get to 4 stars.
Nice.
Thankfully, barely at the very end. Mm-hmm. And then, like the last few days, I stopped refreshing the things because I knew I'd never get her to 5. Plus, I needed to save the cores for this dumb Nature's Gift thing we're going to talk about. In a sec. Yeah. But I mean, I was already like dead on cores. I'm only at 1,300 because I've been refreshing Hela twice, and then Karnak I have to refresh him twice, and then I've been wanting to res some people in Dark Dimension here and there. So it's like very, very tough on my cores here. So I wanted to get some more Corvus orbs, but that's not going to happen. So
yeah, same for that Cull now, I guess. And are you going to go balls deep on these blitzers? They're going to be the worst we've seen, I reckon.
No, it's going to be easy. No one's going to go for it.
So no one's botting at all.
No one should bother going for it. There's no bots.
Hey, did I tell you that whole situation's worse, by the way?
Don't even tell me that.
So I know now of at least a handful of people, one of which I've seen their work, and it's pretty impressive, who are using custom scripts through BlueStacks.
Oh my god.
Yep. So it looks like there's just so many ways to do this blitz botting that it's out of control. And if FoxNext doesn't start sorting this crap out, I mean, it's already a joke with a lot of these scores. And, it's pay to win. It always has been. We get that. But, like, this is active cheating. So, if they're running teams 24 hours a day, FoxNext, maybe we can assume that they're a robot. I mean, coronavirus, sure. People are at home. So they're not sleeping at normal hours, I get it. But, I mean, you can still tell some of the scores we're seeing, either people have spent tens of thousands of dollars or they cheated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they need to sort this out before some of these major characters, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, if only they spent their time doing that, Roy. But instead... Where did they spend their time this week? Oh, before I go into that rant, 6 stars is where I finished with Proxima. Through nothing but pure whaling did I get to that level. I think I got her in the middle of that campaign, or maybe twice. Like, it was real bad. So, it was just, pull after pull after pull. So, now, FoxNext has just been on fire. Like, I mean, you know that if they have to come out and explain themselves in 6 different blog posts in less than 2 weeks, where there should have been 2, one of two things has happened. There's a community manager that thinks he's about to get fired for not doing enough work, right? Well, the other thing is you're being real bad people to your community and you're trying to PR wash it, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the ability daily challenge where, they messed up. And how did they mess up, Roy? Because they were trying to fix another thing that didn't need fixing in the first place, which was the Hela interaction with CM. So to go back to the original part of the story, what they did is Captain Marvel was apparently in the ability challenge tier 12. Or was it tier 12? Tier 10? I can't remember how they score it now. Tier 12, right?
T12, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, Captain Marvel was coded like a moron. So she would always go after the lowest health person on the board, which if you were Hela, was always Greg, which basically meant that she would waste an ult and you would effectively wind back the turn meter on their team. And, you had a better run than someone that didn't get Hela. Now, no one cared about this except for, God knows who went out of their way to correct that one thing for one game mode. And then, as per usual, try to stick a Band-Aid on, a leaking dam, basically, and broke everything else. So it reset the difficulty of Tier 11 and Tier 12 to, like, kindergarten crayon levels, right? You could basically...
How do you even mess up that bad?
Oh, man. Well, let's just say that decimal points we already know are not exactly their strong suit, which, again, is going to be another news story for later today. Yeah. So... everyone's like, great, that T12 was overtuned to all buggery anyway. Even when they made it easier for people who had Hela, it was still insane because of some of the things on that node.
Yeah.
We all went, okay, this is good. At least we've got that now. All right, well, let's take that win. And all of us said, there's no way they're going to let that stand. There's no way they're going to do it. They're going to roll this back. Yep. With everything else that's broken in this game, you watch it. This benefits the players. They will 100% roll it back.
Yep.
What did they do, Roy?
They rolled it back.
They rolled it back. So they rolled it back, and of course, everyone came out and said, "What about the Black Bolt issues? It's only been 7 months, guys. What about the arena stability issues? What about the raid crashes? Where's the summoner rework? Where's Maw's kit?" Right? We're a month away where the team is all the way out, and we don't even think they've finished coding it. Where's the Blitz quality of life that they've been promising? Right? Where are all of these things that they could have been spending hard time on? Right? Where are all these bugs that meant that people couldn't even log into the game for days at a time? Where was the emergency resources dedicated to that? But because it benefited a handful of players for one extra T format every day, that's what we're arguing about? Come on. Really? Really, FoxNext? That's where you want to spend your time?
Yep.
Now, Fox wasn't happy about that. They were like, "Oh, this is nuts. They obviously don't understand. Let's go out and tell them. Let's go out and tell them why they're wrong." So they headed to number 6 of the blog post for a big week for these boys. And which voice should we go for here? What do you reckon? Should we go for Nerd or Zephyra?
Mr. Will, actually.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, this is how it is.
So we recently published an announcement in regards to the action the team is taking to address the incorrect character values in the Ability Enhancement Challenge, especially at the top tiers. There have been some questions in response to this announcement, and we would like to provide additional context, because clearly you're all morons that don't understand how good we are.
I may have paraphrased that bit.
Yes. The current scenario is many players were unintentionally able to bypass the difficulty of the Ability Material Challenge tiers and earn extra rewards and materials that they otherwise would not have been able to earn. This was an unfortunate side effect we caused in the Red Stars rework, rebalancing PvE content, and this is not the fault of the player. No. Oh my god, of course it's not the fault of the player, Roy. How we didn't screw up the coding? Why is that sentence there? Why is that sentence there? It makes no sense. This allowed players to earn additional purple and orange materials as rewards.
They make it sound so game-breaking. So game-breaking.
The forthcoming action,
whenever they use forthcoming, it's a knob lawyer that, anyway, or finance guy.
The forthcoming action will be put to players back where they originally were in the Ability Enhancement Challenge before April 14th, where the error began, but allow players who completed those challenges to keep all earned rewards. And as the extra materials will not be taken away, there's only a net benefit in this situation. I love when they try and devsplain. We need to make that a word, I think. It's like mansplain, but like for tech nerds. Hashtag devsplain. They've tried to devsplain this. So it's only a good thing for you guys. It's only a good thing for you guys. Now,
yes, make it happen on Reddit, guys. Whenever
devsplain, yeah,
bro, the other one,
get real SJW triggering. Are you devsplaining to me right now? Because
like, don't devsplain.
Are you even trying to devsplain me in here?
Look, what is he talking about?
The good thing is that I love how much of the stuff that we come off the cuff here as morons has made it into the thing. Apparently, twice in the last week, Decimal Point Jeff has been mentioned on streams for people that have no idea of who we are. I love it. Anyway,
he's all over Reddit now.
Oh, is that right?
I see milestones and chill everywhere.
Oh,
so.
He had a big day today. So they went on from there, and this is where it gets so dumb for me. So it's first, action like this is only done in extreme cases and is being executed very infrequently. This is the second instance in 2 years. Well, why are they saying is the other one? They've rolled back tons of stuff.
What they didn't roll back was when they had the orange elite orbs you could get for one fragment.
Well, they claim they did, and a lot of whales kicked off that we didn't believe that story, but yeah. And the gold one as well, remember? Remember when the guys got like, was it 30-something million gold or more?
Oh my god.
They've done it a lot.
So it's all kinds of
there was
things.
something back in Deadpool back in the day as well where they messed up. This has happened so many times, but when they've made like official responses like this, they've probably only done it twice.
Yeah.
So the dev team discussed this issue intently and considered a number of possibilities, but in this particular instance, correcting the intended difficulty of the affected challenges was the clearest path forward. Ultimately, the other considered options would have created permanent negative experiences, including a massive power jump in the subsequent challenge progression. You mean like exactly what happened this time before you did this? They were going to do that anyway. They were going to do it anyway. Now they're going to try. Yeah. What's the bet they use this as the explanation next time for why it's so much harder, Roy?
They'll come up with the same kind of crap that people's eyes just glaze over when they read, like, oh, okay, total BS, gotcha.
I don't know who at FoxNext thought this blog post was a good idea. Like, who's going to read this and go, yeah, okay, fair point. Let me pull my head back in. No one is going to do that.
Well, they did that before. I think it was with one of the Red Star reworks. Like, oh, no, we need to clarify what we said, and they just say the exact same thing.
Well, that correction is where they admitted they lied. Because for people that listened to our last episode, that was when we went off the blog post for what the Red Star rework was apparently going to be. And they left out a few key details. So we're like, okay, it's more good than bad. And then the next day, it's in game. We're like, you son of a, it's everything you backpedaling sons of, where's the rollback for that? It didn't benefit the players.
I just would like to say, speaking of Hela, she's just so ridiculous now that I have a chance to use her at higher stars.
Yeah, man.
Cosmic is so painful without her in DD3. It'd be so much easier with her. But she's replacing Ultron in my Ultima 7 team now, especially once I get Black Bolt. So it's just going to be rolling through stuff.
You're going to have a big week this week when you get those two in Ultima 7.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then look, so, I mean, all that combined, it just feels like whenever it feels like we're getting to a good place, like FoxNext have gone, we're hearing you. We're working on it. They make a couple of small positive changes. And then it's like someone just goes, all right, do you think that's enough? Like, do you think that like 2 weeks of pretending we give it to us is enough? Can we go back to being pieces of dirt now? Like, no, but honestly, you read this. This is basically explaining to players why their feelings are wrong, right? And honestly, they are so lucky that Realm of Champions got delayed. Because if that game was out right now with the combination of all this nonsense with the Red Star rework, you would see an exodus. I have no doubt. And I've heard a couple of people from the big guilds have left already too.
Yeah.
This is just ridiculous, man. It's every time I think we're going in the right way. Every time I think that was a fun episode we did, Roy, because it was nice and positive and upbeat. And then they bring us this where it's like, well, how can I not be salty chew when you
we
hear
gotta change
this?
that. We can't let them have fun.
I know. It just bothers me, man. Because we think about the players, because we are players first and foremost. We're players number one, content creators. We do that later, right?
No.
It's insane to me how regularly they do this, man. I mean, I don't know. Have I missed something here? It just seems like such a cop-out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I always expect it. It's like, I know it's always coming back. So it's like, that's why I don't get too excited about anything. Because I know they're going to go back to their same old crap. So like, oh, they've really changed. Like, no. They're just doing some nice things. They're going to just to set you up, and then
see,
they're going to do
the worst part about it this time is that they say, we'll wait. Like those couple of nice things that we're talking about, though, they didn't come to fruition. They don't exist because they told us they were doing things in a very specific way, and then true to form, they just went. And here's some funny things, right? I honestly believe that anyone that bought Red Stars on that first day after the rework, before they announced that they left out some key details about the nature of the economy, that's the nature of false advertising or misrepresentation. Anyone that bought Red Orbs that day could absolutely go for a refund and get away with it. Right?
Yeah.
Now, there's a really fun, and there's a rumor at the moment, completely unconfirmed. Let me be the first guy to say that, but God, I hope it's true. God, I hope it's true. When DD3 was first announced, what did they say the rewards were going to be?
It was a 6 red star, but then they could pick or something.
If we roll it back, let's just say it was very, very, very different to what it is now.
Right.
Now, there may have been one or two gentlemen that finished it before they changed the rewards. And they spent massive amounts of cores to get to the end based on what they had been told the rewards were. Then they changed them. Yeah. There is a very strong rumor that one of those two guys is putting a refund in for tens of thousands of dollars under the claim of false representation. And you know what? I think he's going to get it.
Wow.
Well, they can't not, because ultimately, if they've annoyed a person that has that much disposable income, that person can afford a lawyer. And that literally is like
a very good one.
And they've admitted that they changed the goalposts and they withheld those persons' rewards for a longer period of time. I hope it is so true, because there's no rush to the end, because they've already given out the rewards to someone for being, getting their name up in lights for finishing first, right? And then if they had to then give the tens of thousands of cores back in dollars to that person as well, FoxNext loses out so hard. It's the perfect storm of getting exactly what they deserved. Oh, man, I want it to be true. If that is true, if anyone knows if it is true, reach out to that person. Tell them to come here so we can just give them... I won't even do a podcast. I'll let them talk about whatever they want for 2 hours as celebration. That's how... We'll name the episode after them if it's important to them. I don't care. For me, sticking it to them that hard is so good. So good. Man, I just want it to be true. I'll share with you the number and a screenshot I have after this, man. It's insane. It's a strong rumor. Like, I'm one confirmation away of like being real. So yeah. But look, let's say that Chewie has his tinfoil hat on for now instead. But yeah, man. God, I want it to be true. Anyway. All right. Look, we won't spend much time on it because it nearly was 2 weeks ago. But God, the reality of that Red Star rework is a kick in the nuts. It's more RNG now than it was then, and now with the penalty of not being able to upgrade new tunes.
I did promise one of our best supporters we would rant about it, so we do have to do a bit about it.
All right, go for it, man. I'll let you take the lead. I had a massive rant on that one. Don't get me wrong, you were likely to set me off, but you take the lead on this one.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous how much they jacked up the cost of using the promo or getting the promo credits from using the fragments. It's just like it's so beyond not worth it now. It's like, oh, you have to do these separate tracks. You can only get promotion credits from our events and where we want to give them to you. And then you have to open orbs the rest of the time. You can't use your orb fragments for promo credits. We don't like that. So we're going to make it ridiculously not worth it. So yeah, a lot of people were pissed. Oh yeah, we totally forgot to put that in there. It was going to go in there, but we just forgot. Like, yeah, you knew what was up.
Yeah.
You knew people would be pissed. That's why you didn't say it.
Yeah. Because now they've ticked the box. They've ticked the box now. It's moved on time. right? They'll say that they're going to keep continuing to, look at it, but they said that after the last one. So what are we going to do? Wait another year? Come on.
Like, we'll continue look at our profits made and laugh.
Pretty much, man. And look, I really hope that like Kabam or NetEase or one of those guys doing these Marvel, what's the other one? There's one other company as well, doing these other mobile Marvel games release now. Because the amount of pressure that needs to be put on FoxNext, they're coasting right now because they've just got it easy. There's no competition. They can treat people like crap. And they're like, well, I really want to play a Marvel game on my phone with my friends. And, once that competition comes, I know we've said this a lot of times now, but, man, we need to make them work for their money and understand that without the players, they don't have an income. And, I hope for their sake they don't need to learn that the hard way, but it seems like they do.
Funny enough, it's much like how WWE was. They had no competition, so they could be crappy and get away with it. But now they finally got a little bit of competition. So
hey, it's been a while since we've gone off at a tangent. But did you see how many people they fired on WWE?
Yep.
And then they kept Lesnar for like $34 million a year. Why? That's like 17 mil per oversized trap.
Yeah, it's just we don't want to go on a whole thing, but Lesnar and Goldberg matches are so dumb and boring now. It's like all they do is, let me do my spear and then my finisher, and that's all they do. Just do it over and over again. Like, there's a match. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's like they used to do other moves back in the day. It's just like, no, we're just going to do 2 different moves and do them over and over again. That's your match. That's your main event match.
It's ludicrous, man.
It's like, come on.
That's ludicrous. Now, what are you going to do? Now, speaking of dividing alliances, Nature's Gifts, Roy. I'm not happy about it, but most of our alliance voted for wanting to do it. So, for those of you, everyone must know about this at the moment. There is an event on at the moment based on your donations that allows you to get more rewards. Now, for everyone who does the 10,000 gold donations every day anyway, this is awesome, Roy, because it's free stuff for nothing, for doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
However, they're trying to lure people because they've increased the economy of all these things, and now they're what you want to have to upgrade more of these tunes. For the silver promotion credits, they're adding in more and more of them if you donate 125 cores or a ludicrous 500 cores a day, right?
Yep.
Now, given that everyone's at max Dark Tech, I can't think of anyone that would be donating 500 a day on that. You could save those cores and probably just buy silver promotion credits in the future, is where my gut tells me. Yeah. So that leads the argument of, do you stay with the gold or do you do the cores? And I think someone in our alliance worked out it's about, 127 or something silver promotions at the end?
Yeah, something like that.
I know the number. I know that number's wrong. I'm just reaching here. But look, for me, I'm like, dudes, we have Corvus now. We have Cole next week, and I don't really want to spend money on those characters if I don't have to. I want to use my save cores to get as many of these orbs open as I can. Can I do that? Yeah. And they're like, well, it's better for the Alliance if we do this. And look, I understand. Like, for a lot of the people out there, it is. And they threw the whole, well, for us free-to-play players, this is great for us. It's like, well, I disagree, but it doesn't matter because we do obviously what the most of the people do. So I am a little bit disappointed that FoxNext has sort of forced us. I don't blame our alliance. I blame FoxNext. Has really forced our alliance into basically choosing something one way or the other where no one's going to be 100% happy. All right. So someone's going to get their way, someone's not, and that person that's not is going to be a little bit bad taste left in their mouth. Which way did you vote? I can't remember.
First I said no because I was so low on cores than everyone else's do. I was like, well, I guess I actually pulled like Karnak in a Ultimus orb, and then I pulled Hela on a premium.
Nice. It's
like, okay, well, I don't have to refresh for Hela anymore. So, and then Karnak I'll probably get there. So like, I guess I'll do it. It's like I don't want to be the one guy that says no. So.
Well, you would have been. There would have been 2 of us. No, I think there was a few more because I think there was someone else who basically blew their entire wad on Corvus. I mean, there was someone that apparently was down to like 125 cores. And of course, I think the answer was actually given before I got out of bed. And that's when I said, well, decisions made, but just so we're clear here, that's not how I would have voted. So I think there is a couple of people that probably got railroaded into spending cores they don't have, right? And if they're not placing top 100 in Arena, I think this is a pretty crappy situation. So, I mean, it's fine as long as if those people who can't get there because they blew their calls on other things for the way that they want to play the game, you can't yell at those people for, well, I had to spend cores to cover for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Now watch it. As soon as this is over, then they'll bump up the number of Stark Tech levels.
Probably.
So if you want to get through those, then you'll have to core out.
Well, if they were smart, they would have done that now. Because if you could get players into the habit of doing something and then keep them doing it, like if you basically made that permanent, that you basically said, look, you're going to get silver promo credits if you do your coring this way every single day. If you're really smart, what you would do is you would make it so that roughly 12 to 14 players had to core every day, and then you'd rotate through the alliance. It'd still take cores out of the economy for every player, but it wouldn't look as overtly crappy as what Fox has done here. So
yep.
I think that would have been a very smart play, Roy, for him to have done that. But, I mean, you know, that's classic FoxNext. So, yeah, I don't love that. That caused a little bit of unnecessary tension, which I jumped on. Like, I definitely caused some unnecessary tension in our alliance yesterday. And I apologize to some of the people for blowing up the way I did. But, you know, I'm being forced to play a game in a way I don't want to. So...
Now, I do want to go off on a very slightly related tangent. Okay. I do want to really pump up awareness of this awesome show that I found and watched. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's called Mythic Quest. Mm-hmm. I think it's Apple TV only. Mm-hmm. But it's got Mac from Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Cricket. It's got Abed from Community.
I saw the trailers for this. It looks amazing.
It is amazing. It's even more amazing than you could even hope for.
Is that
right? And then it's about, they have an MMO, like the top MMO, and it's all about like all funny stuff happening and them trying to keep it like on top and stuff. And then the programmer girl is like Australian with an Australian accent, and she hates loot boxes.
Oh, nice.
And then Abed is he's the money guy, so he's like doing all like you could say he'd work for FoxNext with all the messed up stuff he does.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, this is how I can rip them off. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I love the show. I watched all 9 episodes of it in like 2 days.
That's awesome, man. And I heard that they did with Mac's character, like as the sort of head guy, they did the classic, egomaniacal, thing that person always is. Like that guy's always that guy, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
And then they have like a little kid streamer that's kind of like PewDiePie.
Oh, really?
But they call him Pootie Shoe.
That's classic.
But he's like super annoying. You're just like, oh, I hate that guy. Yeah, it's an amazing show.
That's good.
Best new show I've seen in a long time.
Oh, that's good, man. Now, did you open all your premium orbs?
I did. I didn't have many. I only had like 10, I think. I got no yo-yo. So yeah. I already given up on hers.
I had about 30-ish and got nothing. Yep, absolutely nothing. I got a couple of Karnaks, which brought him from out of obscurity, but I don't think close enough to chase down this 6 stars that I ultimately really wanted for more. Because he's at 74 of 130 now. It's going to be a massive effort. I mean, even to get into whale range, I'd have to get what? 74. We're talking about 160 shards in a month, which is doable. I'm doing the 50 refreshers, but I mean, it's coming down to RNG. You're going to get a couple of free things in there. Maybe there's a double drop day where I'll core out hard. It's doable, but then I still have to buy the 250 packs, assuming that they'll have them. Yeah. So, I don't know how I feel about it.
I've actually been pulling pretty well on him in orbs. I have him up to 34 of 80. So.
Oh, wow.
I've been refreshing him twice a day.
Because you've got more lockdown already, right? You're going to get him at 5, which is the battle for 6. Is that right?
Well, I mean, 5 should be easily doable. I think 6 is going to be too much of a stretch unless I just pull tons of them in orbs, which I'm going to be opening every orb I got. So.
Yeah, I think we all
trying to get him.
I think we all are. I mean, with the gold challenges, with the gold milestones, it's probably not a bad time too. Like. It's been a while since I've done this. Like, scrolled through my thing going, who do I have like a bajillion things above where they need to be for 7-star? Actually, do I have anyone left like that?
I did 2 of them. I finally did that. I finally took Black Widow to 7.
Oh, there we go. Sabretooth is like 729 over 300. So there's a few.
Oh, God. Yeah, there you go. I need to take my Ultimus up.
Oh, wow.
He's at 848 of 130.
Kingpin's at 1400.
Oh, God. There you go.
I get some use out of my 5 red Kingpin.
Yeah, I did all of my biggest ones for the Orb Avalanche because I needed those Ultimus orbs.
As did we all.
Which they'll probably do another one right after the Maw event because people will bloat all their stock.
Well, they would have because first of all, it's Asgard, so everyone was doing that to try and scrape in for Black Bolt. Who, if you're going to miss out on one character, I guess Maw's probably the one to miss out on. You don't want to miss out on Black Bolt, but so dumping it for that and then having to dump again, it's a big back to back, that's for sure. So look, I've got the lock for 5, but having Crystal being put in the arena store was perfect for me. I'm assuming for you as well, right?
Yeah, I got 50k credits saved up. I'm good.
I think I'm about the same actually. Let me have a quick check. Oh God!
Yeah, because I had blown.
I have 71,000.
Because you haven't been
That's
spending.
true.
I blew all mine on Kingpin orbs for more orange gear.
Yeah, I probably should do that.
But I built back up the 50k.
Yeah, I'll do that at some stage. So yeah, that's good. So Crystal's safe. So now it just comes down to can I get Karnak to that point. So kind of need about 160 to get into Whale Shot, and then ultimately 260 to get there free to play, which I can't see it happening, bro.
Yeah. And on the calendar they're going to give two days of Miss Marvel and Quake.
I know.
It won't be of Yo-Yo or Carter.
I mean, who cares? Even if they did have the bonus for Yo-Yo, it's still a slap in the face because you can't farm her anyway. That probably annoys me more than everything else they did with all this.
Yep.
Yeah, and that better not count as a farmable character. I mean, come on.
Well,
it's kind of it's a double-edged sword now, right? Because if they count in orbs as being farmable, the good news is you can add reds in the store because they should be making it live to be able to upgrade those characters. True. But the downside is you're never going to get the yellow, so what's the point?
Right.
Yeah.
Does not.
I know. It does not compute. Now, Decimal Point, Jeff, has been on our side for, it seems like 3 or 4 months in a row, man. He's just going, let me just move the decimal point to the left a little bit, then it's going to be like a quarter of the cost of what it was. Perfect example today, mate, is there's a gold calendar up at the moment for 1 million gold over 7 days for what is it, $20 or something? $30?
Ugh.
Didn't we just pay $4 for 2 million a week ago? And they're saying that this is the 50% off? How much was the percentage off last time?
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Yeah, so that was awesome. It feels awesome that he's been on our side for a long time. But today, obviously, he had to show, Zafura that he's still a team player. So he decided to roll out an offer that was $50 American, $80 in Australian pesos, right? $80 Australian for 2 orbs for Corvus and 1 red orb. And I was like, what is going on? But so I tried to think about this, right? Of if you messed it up, Roy, where's the mistake? Because if it was $49.99, that meant that the mistake was a decimal point. It should be $4.99, right? I cannot see them letting out exactly. There's nothing about that makes sense. $8 Australian, I'd buy a red orb and 2 Corvus orbs in a heartbeat.
I'll tell you what it was. They were using the number pad on the right side of their keyboard and hit 4 instead of 1.
I reckon what happened is they had the skin template for the offer they did last week for the full unlock for Corvus. And it didn't change it. But even then, I think that was $35 American because I think it was 50 Australian for their 10 orbs or 5 in each pack or something. And let me tell you, from buying those as well, garbage rolls on that. I got just completely greens and 2 blues. That was horrible whaling out for Corvus, man. Really, really bad. I just don't want to blitz against these nightmare botters.
Yep. Ridiculous.
So they pulled that one down. Well, not as quick as they would if it was a $2 offer. Let me put it that way. But it was down within about an hour. That's for sure.
Yep.
Now, the backstab blitzes are coming this week. I don't even want to think about what the scores are going to be for this. What are you going to do? Are you going to try?
I don't know.
I think if I try and fall short, which is very likely because time is not my own at the moment. I think, my calendar looks pretty empty tomorrow. And if I get close and burn all my saved up things and I still miss out from like a reasonable tier, it'd make me want to quit the game. I can't do that again. I really can't.
Yeah. It's like I'd need to get him to at least 4 stars.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, even if he's going to be... Well, I mean, because you've got the reds, so you want to get as high as you can, right?
Yeah. Well, I know there's no way I'll get to 5, but I need at least 4 for him to be good enough for Arena.
Yeah, the only way you'd be doing that is if you pulled like a 180 out of the cored ones. But you're not coring anymore for him, are you?
Well, I have 8 on him already, so if I can somehow scrounge up cores to open like 2 more orbs and then get like top 1%.
Oh, so you haven't owned them yet? You haven't opened them yet?
No, I did. I opened the 1 orb for him and got 8 shards.
Oh, I'm with you. Okay. How many cores are you sitting on right now?
1,347.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I forget that they've had so much stuff that you've had to core on recently. Yeah.
It's just so much stuff like in one time to spin cores on. I mean, I had at one time I had 12,000, 13,000, maybe more. It's just gone through them.
Well, I was sitting just under 11 before Corvus, and like, because of the way I do my videos now when a new character drops, like I was like, well, I need to sort of test him at the reds that I get. So I got 4 reds, I opened my orbs, and barely made it into 3. I'm like, oh God. You know, so I'm on the video going, well, I'm just going to keep opening the orbs with my cores until I get him to 4 stars.
Oh, man.
So I'm at 12 of 130, and I'm down to 4,000 cores, man. I spent like 6,500. He's not even 4-star, and that's after buying both of his offers. So then it seems like they've really dialed down the bang for buck on those coreable orbs. It really does feel like they're manipulating that deliberately. I would love for companies like FoxNext to get exposed that their drop rates are not what they're advertising. I'd love for them to just finally get railed for doing this sort of stuff. Yeah. But then again, someone will post in our chat tomorrow, but I got a 180, so you're wrong.
So our alliance got 180. So
no, two of them got 180.
Oh God. Yeah. There you go.
For every 98 people that pull nothing, there's 2 guys.
Well, it's like me, like, oh yeah, red star's fine. I pulled 6 red star on Corvus from a regular one.
Yeah, it's crazy. I hate red stars.
I do like the one thing of the rework. I do like we're getting so many more promo credits now, so I'll actually be able to take a lot of characters up to 5. I would have no hope of taking up to 5 before.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Who's your top candidates right now? Who are you looking at taking a 5?
Well, finally Black Bolt popped up in my store after I had the 150, so he's at 5 now, and I have to have him pop up again so I can take him to 6. Other ones, probably Hela, but I might wait on her. I might do Thor to 5 just to try to get through this node 12 I'm stuck on in Cosmic and DD3 because it's just ridiculous. But 6 red star Black Bolt's going to help a lot with that.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll probably take Phoenix to 5 just to make the early part of that easier. And then Proxima eventually to 5. So those are probably my top ones for now.
Yeah, I'm kind of a similar boat. The 4 for me at the moment that are highest on my radar is definitely Corvus and Proxima because I got them both at 4. Symbiote Spidey is probably my top candidate, but he's only at 3 reds. So it's like I'd have to go to 4 and then to 5, which is a bit meh, but at the same time, like he's probably one of the most overpowered characters in the game, and with red star scaling, he's just dumb. He's so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mine's at 5 and 5. I love it.
and this is actually interesting too because I think that FoxNext they should hear more things like this. So Mr. Sinister, I have not really had any desire to use until 2 days ago when I had red stars that made him usable.
Yep.
I've known that he has potential as a character, right? But at lower red stars, he's rubbish, absolute garbage. But we know there's a turning point at 4 reds, and now I'm like, man, I'd spend upgrade currency on him for sure. Because he becomes not only usable, but really effective at 5. So, yeah, I really wish that they would have built-in things that when you unlock a character, you just got them at 4. That's the baseline. Then we go up from there. Yep. And then if you can't build them because of luck for another 6 months, fine. I'm on board with that. If you didn't get lucky, you didn't get lucky. At least you got 4. Better than 0.
Well, see, a way they could fix, well, not completely fix Blitz, but make Blitz a little better is add extra tiers to the milestones, but then put red stars instead of the regular
mate. People go hard for
shards.
that. Absolutely. If I knew that was something I could do every week, but I had to buy, like I say, 1 or 2 of those Blitz charge packs to guarantee that I get at least 4 red stars, they would have me with every new character with that extra money. With every new character, I would spend that because it saves me that much. Oh, absolutely, they would. Think about the guaranteed income they could make from that, right? And then let these lunatics and cheaters go nuts. Let them loose. They can do whatever they want. Man, we've been saying that milestones should have been extended for a very long time. For exactly.
I mean, look how popular it was when they did the Tadano Mac ones, where they had put red stars in there. Just put them in the extra milestones. That'll get people to play more. They'll be on more. They'll blitz more, and it'll motivate the newer players that don't have the stronger rosters to build up their rosters faster, so they can hit those higher milestones as well. So win-win-win.
Absolutely.
You're welcome, FoxNext.
Yeah, and look, and playing Contest of Champions for a while as well, and I really wish I had the time to keep playing that because I freaking love that game. What they do, right, and this is quite clever, is that what they do is they put 2 blitzes on at the same time. One for a character that's been out for a while but still very, very good, right, and then the new character. So, for example, you might have Corvus Glaive up at the same time as a Captain Marvel blitz.
Yep.
So what that does is, like, you've got the newer generation of players trying to get those older but still very good meta characters versus the lunatics at the front end who are trying to get these new things. So you kind of got 2 very competitive blitzes happening at the same time. I think it's a great idea. Why are we not doing things like that, offering different tiers of, go after what you want? Personally, I'd love the milestone idea that you were talking about much more, though.
Yep.
Now, just in case you wanted to keep blitzing more than ever for God knows what reason, 1 hour cooldowns are coming back for a couple of days this week. Mate, some of the people who have these max teams, can they actually get through a rotation without botting in an hour?
I don't think they can. I mean, because I don't even go through like full 20 teams or whatever, and it takes me 30 to 45 minutes.
Right? Yeah, someone told me the other day that with a max roster, even without the save squad, just because of the way they've got it set up, which, if you ask me, means that they've got a script running. But they're saying they can get through every character that possible. I think there's a couple of overflows at the moment because of odd numbers in 47 minutes. Even if that was true.
Definitely buying on that.
Yeah, even if that's true. It's like that episode of Battlestar Galactica where, like, basically every time they jump, the Cylons basically find them, and they've only got like 13 minutes to spare and rest each time or something. That's what this is. You have 13 minutes before the Cylons catch up, and then you have to blitz again. That's basically what's going on.
Now, an optimistic outlook would be they're doing that to try to catch some of those botters. Like,
do you think that's what it is?
People can be super. I hope, but I doubt it. But it'd be nice.
Man,
there's a rumor that they might be having fixes coming for the Alliance Wars shelling and the Blitz bots in the next patch, but I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. For me, it doesn't change anything because I'm just not a Blitz guy anymore. I was once upon a time, but the burnout and the reality of if you want to have a full-time job above a certain quality, you just can't. All right? And then add a family onto that, or God forbid, a social life where you don't want to be at a table going, look, I don't want to be that guy, but I play video games. So I'm listening to you, but I have to play this game right now.
That's a 1 hour cooldown, so you get 13 minutes of my time.
And they're looking at you like you psychopath. You know what I mean? Imagine being on like your first Tinder date, just going, sorry, sweetheart, I don't think you understand. This is for Corvus Glaive. You know what I mean? Like, come on, babe. Like
this is a big deal.
This is me, babe. This is what you're gonna date. Get on board or get out.
I can fit you in for 5 minutes every hour.
You've got 13 minutes. Make it good.
Impress me.
Yeah. So they're doing it on a couple. This just feels like they're testing something. You're absolutely right about that. So one of the days is going to be for orange gear. One of the days is going to be for purple gear. And then they're doing another day of the week for Red Star Rampage. So that means there's obviously one less character blitz next week, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I guess. But they'll probably do that and then just have Corvus for the other Corvus one.
I mean, I got no downside.
I think they're doing are they doing a blue gear one too, or?
I know that they said that there was going to be 4 blitzes, but on that blog post, I couldn't see one other one on there. I mean, you're probably right. Let me just do one quick scan.
I saw somewhere.
Last time they did, I'm sure that's what it is. One sec. I probably closed that one, and I don't know that I care enough about to go back. Here we go.
Yeah.
So the first 2 blitzes will reward gear, first orange and then purple the next day. Closing out the 1 hour blitzes will be a second running of the Red Star Rampage blitz, and blue gear. There you go. Yeah, okay. So yeah, blue gear is right at the end. I think I just blanked it out because it's in the who cares category. Although, from taking so many damn characters up recently, I nearly ran out of blue catalyst.
Wow.
Yep. Welcome to
I actually ran out of purple gear, so I had to open some of my massive hoard of purple raid orbs.
Which piece did you run out
of? Mystic.
Yeah, I think that's about to happen for me as well. I'm sitting on those Blitz Catalyst orbs or whatever it is. So I'll probably just open, what have I got, 85 of those for Mystic?
Yeah, I still have about 90 something of those too.
Well, when you level up Proxima and Corvus as well, just quietly, there goes your skill gear.
Yep, I took her up, so I ran out of that. I'm going to run out of bio after Black Bolt also.
Yeah, that's true actually. He's hungry for that gear too. But, I mean, your TD3 is about to just start pumping through. All right. Now, speaking of that guy who I confuse in that roster so often with Bullseye, it's actually not funny. Like, the amount of times when I was waiting for that 6 Red Star upgrade to pop, and I would go to that store, the amount of times I nearly accidentally upgraded Bullseye to 6 Red Stars. Like, oh God, what have I done? What have I done? Yeah.
That would have been so hilarious.
It would not have been, because there's no way they would have refunded that.
You would have been like Darth Vader. No,
I would just uninstall. I would have just uninstalled. Just go. You know what?
Quit.
That's it. That's karma right there.
I'm done.
Yeah, man. So he's coming back. So I think there's a lot of Black Bolts going to be hitting. Like I think Alliance War is about to change dramatically. I think our Room of Doom is about to be run through way faster than it has been recently. I think arena shards are going to change dramatically, and then you've got about a month to get used to that before the Black Order rolls into town. So it's going to be really good for Ultima 7 progression, though. I mean, anyone who isn't in 7 yet but gets a Black Bolt, dude, you'll carry your squad through to 30%. Like, he makes Ultima 7 a joke.
Yep.
All right.
Well, these delays just worked out so perfectly for me.
Tell me about it.
Because I'm getting mine at 6 stars, which is amazing. I never could have imagined that would happen, but I mean, my Hella easily got over there. She's 39,300. Sif is like around the same, so I easily got it.
Mate, there was no way I was going to get a 7, and in fact, there was no way I was even like remotely in with a sniff of getting Karnak to 6 either. But now there is a feasible chance. Not the best chance on planet Earth, but it's feasible.
Yep. So it worked out for once.
Indeed. Now let's talk about Chaos Theory, Roy. Do you think that guy in Jurassic Park was right?
What was that?
I'm joking. What's his name? The guy talking about Chaos Theory, where he's just like, and the life always wins. Yeah, what's that guy's name?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. That's the guy. That's a terrible impression, by the way. I'm not a strong Goldblum guy. But Chaos Theory is also the name they've given to the justification for Wakanda Aren't So Bad After All Red Star event that's coming to the game at the end of this week. Now, the normal rewards are pretty poo, but the first-time rewards are not bad at all, as a matter of fact. So we're going to get to Chaos Theory Tier 3 no matter who you are this week. And good news for a lot of people, you only need 4 Wakandans. So if you don't have Shuri yet, you're going to be able to complete the same thing that Roy and I have been playing for 2 years. You're going to get the same tier as us. There's something quite cool about that, I think, Roy, that everyone in the community is about to get the same rewards. When was the last time that happened, where every player in the game got exactly the same thing?
Block Party?
I reckon maybe Beta. When was the last time that happened? No, because a lot of new players can't get straight up to that.
Block Party? Couldn't they do the first 3? You should have, unless you just started.
Yeah, just started is what I'm saying.
When that came out?
This is, like, way doable. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not bad. So we're looking at, 10 promo credits and a free red orb for Tier 1. That's not too bad. You got 2 red orbs and 20 promo credits for the Tier 2. So basically, if you clear those first 3, what are we looking at? 50 silver promos for your first time clear. It's not bad. And then how many?
Well, actually, 61.
Oh, because of the ones you're getting. Actually, no,
62.
Because of the extra ones that you're getting from actually doing the event.
Yeah. Well, actually.
Where'd you get 62 from?
Because you got 10, 20, and 20, 1, 4, and 7.
Oh, that's right. Because I'm thinking, why don't you just do the 7 3 times? Like, oh yeah, because we can't.
Because you cannot.
Where does that actually ramp up to? I mean, that top one being when you get up to the first time clear, 30k, 15 red orbs for your first clear, dude. Why can we not skip to that? And 40 gold upgrade credits, dude. I just want that now, please.
Then 10k every clear, so you're getting the 15 every time it comes back, so that's pretty nice.
Let me ask this question, and I'm not doing this for facetious. I'm asking this legitimately. Why can't they just be the rewards every month? Like, what would be so game breaking about 15 red orbs a month if you can max clear this? Like, you have to farm this team to theoretically, what are they saying the difficulty is? Level 70, gear 12, level 6 abilities, 2 red stars minimum on everything. Right? That takes a lot of farm and a lot of investment. What would be so bad about 15 red orbs, 75 promo credits, and 40 gold once a month? What would be so bad about that?
Well, because you do it, I guess you're reset.
No, I'm saying like if you divided that by 3, so that was what you got after it. What would be so game breaking about that? It would mean you get a 5 red star upgrade of your choice every 2 months.
Yeah.
So you're going to 6 a year? Come on, that's fine.
That's way too many.
15 red orbs, that's all dupes anyway. Who do you care?
Way too many.
And then what? So let's say that they did have it at 40 of those. 40 times, what do you need now? Is it 200? So you're only going to get two 7 upgrades a year anyway for characters you would have had to have had 6.
7's 150.
Oh, it's 150, is it?
It's 100.
Okay, so in that case, you're looking at what? 4 months. So you get 3 7 red star characters a year. How many characters are they releasing a month right now? 3? Come on, that's 12 a year. New minimum, which is, yeah, at least.
But then whales might not spend as many thousands on red star orbs.
Come on. There's so many other ways they can milk us. Mate, playing in Marvel Super War, right, which is another Marvel game I've been playing around recently, the amount of costumes that are in that, some of those costumes I look at it and just go, where's the money button? How do I buy this now? Right? And I would pay $5-10 because you should see the Thor costume in that game. It looks gangster. It's like a Ragnarok one. He has custom animations and different voice lines. Everything about him plays the same, but he looks awesome. And if you're playing that character all the time, you're like, man, I'm doing this. I don't understand why we have to fleece every living freaking dollar out of every spender for this. It's just so short-term moronic.
Yeah, why have they not done costumes? They have that gray suit Deadpool just collecting dust after, a year and a half now?
Man, it's look, and that's the thing. It's where they're most talented guys, right? They're most talented people, they're animators. Let's face it. It's not their coders. It is not their coders. Right, I would say it's basically art guys, dev guys, and then, I don't know, whoever else the people do that, they do the pretendy sales stuff like myself. They're not essential.
Janitors.
We don't need them. No, janitors are way more important than those other ones. Way more important than the management and the finance guys, the communities. Not necessary. Anyways. So look, at least we're going to be able to do something with our Wakanda, but I kind of hate that sentence in itself, right? Because... I shouldn't have had to do that. I should have been able to refund it based on a bald-faced lie. Where was the rollback from the Wakandans, huh? Where was the step in for that? Yep. Man, this has been I've been very negative this episode, Roy. I don't like it. I don't like it.
The masters of salt have returned.
The thing is, I only said the last couple of weeks, hasn't it been good recently, Roy? Hasn't it been good that, it seems like we're going in a good direction?
Yep. And just the calm before the storm.
And then... All right, now last piece of news for this week is that Captain Marvel, they finally got to the end of what do they do for those people that didn't fit into the other categories of the old Widowmaker calendar. So you joined before March 15th, but you didn't claim any of that calendar. Very soon you're going to get that calendar anyway. All right, so you can log in and do all of that. To be honest though, Roy, the ones that are kind of winning the show are the ones that logged in but didn't finish because they're just getting sent flat out 50 shards for Captain Marvel.
Nice.
So that's interesting. I'm glad they finally resolved that for those players because there was a lot of people that didn't qualify for A, B, or C, which was you've either done it, you've either didn't do all of it, or you just missed out completely. So, yeah, we'll see.
Right.
Very good. I think it's about time for questions, mate. There must be some of these backed up. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think we have a few.
All right. That's why there's no main topic this week, folks. All right, here we go. Now, some of these might feel a little bit dated. I haven't screened these either, guys. I apologize. So if you hear me go, it's because I'm reading someone that made a comment, not a question. All right, so starting off with the Patreon questions first. If you want to guarantee that your questions get read out no matter what chaos is happening with Roy and I, we always do prioritize those that prioritize us. So Big Spartan 34. The new Chaos Theory Red Star Flash event means a lot of players will get a 7 Red Star toon, maybe once or twice for the rest of their MSF career. Having said that, why do you think they hate us so much? Well,
because you don't spend
it's
enough
because you touch yourself at night.
to their liking
is basically what it comes down to. Look, in a way, he's so right that they're doing nothing to want players to keep people wanting to come back to this game and supporting it. Right? All it's going to take is one game that's kind of close enough to this. People are going to jump ship. Right? This whole sunken cost fallacy. It's not as hooky as people think it is. So he's right that a lot of people may only get one red out of this and go, why am I doing this? Why am I playing this game? You know what I mean? There's Realm of Champs, there's the new Marvel, MMO, there's the new Marvel, RPG. I mean, it's going to be like, what, Puzzle Quest 5.0 or something? Who knows? There's so many good Marvel games coming, dude. Commander Iceman, how long, in your opinion, does the rework shine of Ray's powers for your characters wear off and people start to realize we still have no direct progression with this Red Star system? I don't think... the numbers going up didn't really do anything for me. Did they do it for you?
I mean, things seem a little easier. Like Ultima 7's been a little easier.
That's true.
I can actually auto more stuff, so... I didn't really notice it in DD3 going to the next node, probably because it's the hardest node in the whole game that I went to. But I didn't notice tons. Arena's been pretty much the same, so I didn't really notice tons.
Yeah, top 10.
It was like a nice little difference. Though.
Yeah, top 10 in Arena for me is brutal, man. Some of those combos. I'd say the combo that's one of the most challenging at the moment is really high red stars on Yo-Yo, Crystal, Black Bolt, Phoenix, +1. That combination is so evil that it's nuts, man. They really, really mess you up because you haven't got the juice to completely kill one of them. And then Crystal just full heals them. And you're like, damn it.
I haven't seen a Crystal in my shard in like months. There was one guy that was trying it, but I guess it wasn't high enough or didn't work well enough for him.
If you have a 5 red and a T4 on her passive, even if you're not really investing in her in other ways, the fact that she makes it harder to take that Yo-Yo or that Black Bolt out, because let's face it, you're not going to hit the Crystal. She's not a priority target because what she does behind that is enough to really mess you up. But, yeah, man.
I think I remember I did go after her pretty early because she is kind of squish, and I didn't want her healing or doing that ultimate that stuns summons. So I think I did burn her down quickly if it was possible to do it. That's why I love Invisible Woman so much, because she just uses her special and unstealths everyone. It's like, okay, I can still pick my target.
All right, Hobbs says he spends lots of time in MSF, Raids, War, and Blitz, and a lot of it only helps stay competitive for your alliance. Saying that, are there any games for spent untold hours playing by choice? Mine was the original XCOM game in the 90s. I played it so much I got bleeding eyes. Secondly, with Karnak and Yo-Yo farmable, do you think they'll hold off on Crystal? So we actually got an answer to that part. She's in game. Yeah. What game did you play for hours and hours and hours just because you could? Or games?
Probably MMOs. So WoW, EverQuest. EverQuest you had to if you want to accomplish anything. God, that grind on that. The Star Wars, what was it called? The MMO of it.
The Old Republic.
What was that called? No, the one before that, the old one. Yeah, it was just Galaxies. Yeah, I've had to grind on that one. That's where I think that's what broke my wanting to grind anymore. When you had to grind the different professions to try to find the holocrons to get to unlock the Jedi class. I grinded a few. I was like, oh no, I can't grind in games anymore. This is total crap. I hate this. So I think that's what really broke my my grinding spirit on that. Then other games like Rocket League, I played a lot of hours on that. It's really fun. Like the WWE games, when I can, make all the different characters and try to do all the matches and storylines, play that a lot. Sports games where I go through a season, so a lot of different games.
I'd probably say MMOs are definitely taking up the most of my time as well. I think WoW would be number one. Star Wars: The Old Republic could be very close. If you added up all the Diablo series together, and like especially when they added in seasons to 3, I've definitely sunk some time in there. Other than that, I mean, a lot of the MOBA games, I played a lot more Dota than I did League. To be fair, so a lot of Dota 2.
Same here.
What else, man? If I went back through, I mean, all the Command and Conquer and early StarCraft days, like in the days of dial-up gameplay, where you had to dial your friend's place to basically do like mobile LAN. That was massive for us.
Yeah.
Original Halo series. I have to say GoldenEye was probably the one that soaked up the most collective amount of our time back in the day. But yeah. Jackie246, did either of you partake in any real-world tournaments or competitions? Off-topic question, but curious about life outside of MSF for you gents.
I haven't done any tournaments in a while. I did some Magic the Gathering ones back in the day. Actually ended up winning. Like, it was like one of the big ones. Like, I don't know what you would call it. Not a regional, but it was like a big one for the state of Texas or whatever. I went and I won the tier 2 one, and then I ended up losing to the guy in the tier 1. Tier 1 was where you could use any card. This is way back in the day, like the really $100 cards, like the old like superpower cards. I didn't have any of them. I still I lost to the guy that ended up winning the whole thing. So that was nice. Then I did other tournaments along the way, but it was just way too expensive to keep up with that. Those are the big tournaments I've done.
It's been a long time for me. So what tournaments was? I mean, I did some like semi-professional like trivia type stuff a couple of years back. That's probably not that exciting. It was sort of at a local level where you just basically go out with a team of people and just try and prove how smart you are.
Yeah, I did that for one season.
Other than that, it would have been like back for a blow at my shoulder with like mainly martial arts tournaments. That's probably really a couple of basketball and netball tournaments back in the day during my teenage and uni years. But that was mainly in the endeavor of chasing young ladies. So those days are way behind me now.
Back in my day.
When I had a functioning genitalia. All right, Dragus says, my Marauder team sucks. I have Sinister at gear level 13, but the rest are at 11, all with 4 red stars. Is Strife worth leveling more, or is he as squished as he seems to be? Who would you throw in there as a 5th? You probably got more experience with them than me, I would say.
I only have them on like Alliance War defense. I don't use the whole team together. I don't even use Strife just because he wasn't farmable before. I'm still not farming him. So who do I have? I can check real quick. But yeah, it's like I want to bring up my Mystique up at some point. She's 5 red stars. I think she'll be really good.
I'm telling you that Mystique and Loki in the age of Black Bolt are so underrated, right? All they need is dumb luck because they're so fast. And if they manage to call in a Black Bolt or someone else's massive red star in Arena and they're lucky enough to get a squish character, you've got a character nuked out turn 1. That happens to me so often. There are 2 guys in our arena that have massive teams, and 2 of them use a Loki. And man, when they get that luck, I just stop the match. There's no point in going on. And it's, I don't know why. I don't know why it's always my Hela. My Hela just always gets death punched by Black Bolt. Who knew?
Nice. Like on my Alliance War defense, I have Sinister, Mystique, Sabretooth, my 6 red star, Big Fatty Rhino, and then Mercenary Lieutenant. I actually get like 1 or 2 defensive wins a lot of the times with that team, just because it throws
that offense up,
throws something different at them,
and the speed too. That's probably their main 2 fall downs: is the reliable speed up and reliable offense down. Otherwise, it sort of depends on when Sinister gets his turn off. Yeah.
Oh, a new milestone I just noticed. I have a 500k defense now.
Oh my god!
My hybrid Asgardian defense.
You infuriate me. Dragus says, who would you suggest as a 4th and a 5th for a symbiote team? I've been using Scarlet Witch with my supernatural team called They Want Her Back. I know Drax is pretty popular in there at the moment.
When I use them into auto, whenever I can on raids, I've been using Minerva and Groot.
Minerva and Groot?
Very well.
Groot's interesting to have in that team.
Groot to get rid of any debuffs like heal block.
So I actually heard that Ronan is not bad with the symbiotes too, because he's kind of giving the cleanse and also the ability to remove taunts as well. So I've heard a lot of people using him with Minerva, which is interesting because they've got that synergy together too.
Yeah, I should try that actually, since mine is 5 red stars now.
It's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't had a chance to test it yet because my symbiotes have been garbage. But now that I've kind of leveled all the essential ones that I want for DD3, even though I'm not in City yet, I'm like, well, maybe I'll do the symbiotes now and then loop back around and start on the other globals for bonus turns. Cosmics.
My only issue is my Ronin's only 65 tier 10. I don't want to put any more into him, so that might be why I don't use him.
What is he at? 5 reds?
Yeah, 5 reds.
Yeah, I thought you had that, yeah. Commander Iceman says, with all the funny business of late from FoxNext, I have 1 foot in and out the door in this game. What would be the breaking point for you guys? God, I'm surprised we're still here most weeks, man.
God, I don't even know.
Look, for me right now, I'm actually past it in a lot of ways. Like, I mean, this last couple of weeks for me pretty much showed that these guys are not going to change, right? Unless they absolutely have to. I think FoxNext got sold to Scopely. It's what they wanted. Most of those guys are, they got their cushy job transfer, or they know they're out the door. They don't really care. So it really depends on how much Scopely wants this game to take off. Are they happily for it to be, a game that still pulls in millions every year but declines over time, like a lot of their other products have done? Or do they want it to keep being a monster? It's coming into its 3rd year. Like, the 3rd year is a big test for a lot of mobile games. They either pass it or fail it. And a lot of the ones that fail it, the new games that come out. I mean, there's strong contenders already, man. Like, Ark Knights has taken a lot of players away. 7 Deadly Sins is a wonderful game. That's been doing really well. And then seeing the ones coming up soon. Honestly, if there was a game that had enough of the Marvel tick boxes for me right now that was out there, there'd be a very strong chance I'd rip out of this game today, because I want to support a game that supports its community.
Yeah,
I just see the way that, especially after that last blog post, that was the one that really got me, of just the way they talk down the community of, well, actually, you're wrong. I've grown up. Man, I grew up in customer service, dude. Like, slinging food to people who were absolute jerks, and you're just like, yes, sir, no problems. Your customer's always right, And then you go through, and then you get to the next level of sales, and you run states, you run countries, you run several countries, and it's always the same. Is that it doesn't matter if you think you're right. If the person that you're trying to do business with thinks you're wrong, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, you might know that they're an idiot, but the reality is that you're not going to get anywhere from just constantly belittling your customers. And that's what they do in here.
Yeah, that's how FoxNext is. Like, customers always right. Well, actually,
no, they're not. You see, if you look at this decimal point here, you can see that you're wrong. No, actually, what was happening is I was being sarcastic in that comment. All
right, Snorlax Hunter, good question here. Would you rather A, the only pants you can wear are made out of cacti, or B, everything you step on turns to ice?
I'm going to go with B.
Absolutely. Do you have any idea how much beer I could keep cold with all that ice? That's an easy one, bro. Easy one.
Step on my beer, bro.
Absolutely. Bloodwalker. I know with A-grade characters, you push them as hard as you can, but for less meta, more useful characters, what is your investment cutoff point? What level and gear tier do you normally stop? Personally, I usually go to level 60 gear tier, 8, 9, drop the purples, then experiment if they can earn more. What's yours, man?
Yeah, somewhere around there, 60, gear 9 or 10, depending.
Yeah, honestly, man, in a lot of characters, like, I'm so selective. Like, I have metatunes that you would not believe. I have Cyclops at, you ready for this? Gear score 226.
Yep, that's where mine is.
Oh,
right
yeah.
around there.
He is level 1, baby. Blob's down there with him. There's so many good tunes down there that I'd love to bring up, but they're just, they bring me, like, what, maybe another 10% to some teams, which would make a massive difference, but sacrificing what? One meta destructive team. So yeah, for me, man, like, get your Ultima 7s, get your arenas on point, and then worry about stuff like that. I mean, I know your Alliance will probably go, don't listen to that guy, level up all your defensive teams, but I'm the selfish jerk in that sense, and our teams tend to do okay, considering that I haven't gone too meta with them.
Yeah, I'm even worse than you. Thing is down there. Toad, Red Skull, Cyclops, Ultimus, Mr. Fantastic, Yo-Yo.
Thing is a monster. I had him today hit his ult, right, on, I don't even know who it was, uncritted, but with offense up. His ult hit for 119k.
Wow.
Right, opening turn. Thanks for coming. Just got punted to the moon. It was awesome.
I wonder if he might be worth putting in a hero brawler team.
Yeah, see, that amount of reflected damage is not bad as well.
Because then he'd get the assist, or if he assists, he'll be hitting like a truck. If you don't want to do the whole Fantastic Four team, or if you want to split them up.
Well, if you want to be really rude, I mean, you'd have to break up a couple teams to do this, but it's obnoxious. What you could do is a Brawler Fury hybrid with him, because then he's getting counters and offense up all the time, right? So he's not only getting that reflected damage off him constantly. Yeah, there's some really dumb teams you can do with that. All right, Cheetah. Hey guys, I try to stay free to play as much as I can. Normally only pick up Decimal Point Jeff $1.99 offers. Well, they're $19.99 now, mate. I also bought a Minerva pack when DD2 came out because you guys convinced me how much easier it would be with her. Wasn't it, though? Anyways, I got a $50 iTunes gift card for my birthday. Wondering what offers would you spend it on? This is a bad week to ask that question, dude. Yes. I tell you what, man. Hit me up in a DM and show me your roster real quick because you're one of our patrons. That's a question that we probably want to specify the advice on you and where you're at. There's no point in me saying, oh, dude, buy the Corvus offer. Because not the one that's on today, the big one. If you're not going for Black Order, you know what I mean? So yeah, look, Minerva's been pretty good. It depends on where you are, man. It really does. Depends on where your reds are. It's a very open-ended question that's very specific to answer.
Yep.
Yeah, Chewbo Swaggins, hi Legends, currently chipping away at DD3. He's got BB, Hela, Punisher, Phoenix, and Ultron ready to go. Good choice. I'm in a position where Colossus is basically G14, but Yo-Yo is not too far behind. Which way would you go to give the team a little bit more long-term benefit? I'm thinking at this stage, stick at it and head down the Yo-Yo path. Should be well into No 3 by the time this airs as well. You're further in, so you go first, mate. We might differ here.
Colossus might be better for DD3, but overall, Yo-Yo would be better for the rest of the game.
All right, I take it back. I agree 100% with Roy. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. Colossus and Phoenix are insanely good, especially when you get into global. I can't believe how long they last, mate. Like, I took out like a wave and a half with just the two of them this morning.
Nice.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So, yeah, that's definitely the case. Yo-Yo's an overall better character, but in DD3... she suffers a lot, man, because you can't use her with Black Bolt. And the other team's going to resist the offense downs way too much, unfortunately. Yeah. JW, hey fellas, wondering what your suggestions are for T4 upgrades for the Black Order. So far I got 5 reds on PM, CG, and Thanos, but wondering what the order of upgrades should be. Keep an eye out, man, because once we see the Maw kit, I guarantee there's going to be a video and an infographic on that one. And we'll try and shoot that out to you patrons first, I think. We'll get the infographic done. We'll put that up on the Patreon, and then I'll get the video done as soon as I can. So, yeah, that's coming out to you guys soon. Don't worry about that.
Yep.
Irish Avenger. Hey, guys. New to the game. Bought the $80 offer this morning. No. Are all the deals this good? Also, who do you think the Black Order will unlock as they continue to build on a legendary, unlocking a legendary, or they need to unlock DD4 and then T18 with level 95? Well, it's going to be Doom, obviously.
Yes and yes.
Or Galactus. Look, are they normally that good? No, obviously, normally the value is not even as good as that. Sadly, that's kind of true. That's a terrible offer, but there's been worse. Yes. Good question, Irish. I like it. I like a bit of sass. All right, Dracathor. So I got Black Bolt this time, but I don't have Yo-Yo. What teams can I use him on? All of them. He's going to be 6 red and 6 yellow. I'm not even being facetious here, my man. All of them. Yep. He is unbelievably good. At 6 red and 6 yellow, he's going to punch holes in everything. Mm-hmm. Judas 95, how do you guys divide up the lanes in Ultima 7? We do 2 on each outside and then 3 up the middle for most of our teams. Is that right, Roy? Is anyone doing anything differently at the moment?
It depends on which strike team. Like in the one I'm in, we got 3 on the right.
Why? That's the easy thing. Well, easier.
I guess just to, I don't know. I don't know. I just go where they tell me.
Weird.
So you'd have to ask the leaders.
Okay.
I just go where they tell me.
Danelle, if there was a game mode where you're allowed to take 2 of the same character, who would it be and why? Black Bolt. Getting that double punch under 25%, Black Bolt every day. What about you?
A very close second is 2 strifes. If you've done DD3, you know why.
Yeah, but as if ours are scaled to DD3 type stats. Come on. If I had that kind of stats, man, still Black Bolt.
two 7 red star strifes.
Do you know what, though? 2 Hellas would be pretty stupid, too.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Accidentally use an AoE, rip 20% of your TM. Snorlax Hunter will be unlocking Black Bolt tonight. Resources are tight. Not planning on leveling Crystal or Karnak. Both are low reds. Which one is more important for the Inhumans in War or Blitz? The team will be Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, Quake, Black Widow, and then one of those 2. Oh, he's using that modified version.
Crystal all the way.
Yeah, Karnak's not great.
Karnak is just bleh.
Yeah. I was actually using Proxima as the 5th there for quite a few wars on the attack. Very good in that team, actually. Does a lot of the same things as Karnak. Removes debuffs, doesn't rewind turn meter. Well, actually, no, she does on a single target and gets a stun off as well. So, yeah, I know that's not what you asked, but just saying.
Yeah, but Crystal heals. She has the big nuke. So
that T4 for longevity's sake. I really need to do that T4. Once Black Order is done, I've got so many things I need to loop back to. Mainly Hydra. I need to finish that Hydra squad. Picked up a couple of reds during the week, like minor ones. But yeah, Crystal's definitely one of them. Last of the Patreon questions. Mangoes or strawberries? Asked Jackie246.
Why not both? I think it depends. I like both of them.
So, to anyone Australian that's listening to this, I'm pretty sure they're going to try and revoke my citizenship. But I don't like mangoes.
What?
I just don't like them. I don't like them.
Even if you spread what is that crap you guys eat on there?
Vegemite.
The weird. Yeah, Vegemite.
Why would you put Vegemite with mango? That is disgusting. Oh.
Why would you put Vegemite on anything? It's disgusting.
I would rather rim someone that hasn't washed for 3 days than do that. That is gross.
I think the Australians are going to hunt me down.
Yeah, that's clearly shows. You don't mix sweet and savory, you lunatic. Yeah, 100%. All right. Actually, there's a couple of Patreon questions snuck in with the after play questions. So, Foxy Schmaltzy, a question for Senor Roy BigRoyAwesome. Who do you plan on using your DD3 first run completion orange gear rewards on? Second question for you is chimichangas or enchiladas?
I think enchiladas. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember if I've had a lot of chimichangas, but I love enchiladas, so I'll probably go with that. For my first run rewards, it's really going to depend on which trait things I get enough of. Mm-hmm. But definitely Hella number 1 for Cosmic. Second one, probably Shuri. Maybe Mystique. Mm-hmm. Just for that extra mind control, which is amazing in DD3. Carnage, if I haven't done him. Mm-hmm. It will depend on what bio I get. Then probably Proxima and Corvus if I get enough, and then Cole. So I'm going to take all my Black Order up if I get enough stuff.
Makes sense. Especially if you already finished DD3. Like, there's no rush for turn 2, right? And you're going to get those bonus characters anyway.
Yep.
All right, Laser James. What team do you recommend to clear Villain 7-6 Node 3 stars? Don't like to brag, but I got my first 7 red star. I got Bruiser. Nice.
Ouch.
Do you know what, man? There's a place for him. And it's on the bench. Yeah. It's on the bench. That's unfortunate. Yeah.
What was it? Was it Mystic for the 3?
I think so. I'm trying to think of Mystic Villains, what I was using. It was something else in there as well, wasn't it? I haven't got enough energy to check. Have you? You should be able to click on that node and fight, and it will tell you what team you used.
Oh, yeah, let me check. I have energy. Okay, do not auto-win. Skip.
Yeah, instinct.
Do not auto-win. Oh, wow, it looks like oh, wow, what did I use that? I used Yondu, Juggernaut, Thanos, Loki, and Hela at that point.
Oh.
You could definitely sub in Mordo for like Yondu or Ronin.
To be honest, once you get the Loki and Hela combo, dude, it's all you really need. Like, that node is dead after that. Like, because the fact that it doesn't carry over from one node to the next, so you've always got her ult ready to go, means whatever that first wave is, dies. Because Loki's going to D down for 2 turns. She's going to spread that to everyone. GG.
So pretty much you're just most survivable guys so they won't die while Loki and Hela do their thing.
Yeah.
So you can 3-start.
Absolutely. And he also asked, is Captain Marvel worth gearing up for DD3? Definitely better characters than her, but there's definitely way worse. She's more yes than no, is probably how I'd answer it.
The problem is she's bio, and there's a whole lot of good bio characters you want.
True.
You'd want Black Bolt, then you want your bio for City. So unless you have tons and tons of bio and she's 6 or 7 red stars, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah, fair play.
Just because, I mean, all you need is Hela, Black Bolt, and then some others for Cosmic. They're going to carry the load on that.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we're going to burn through these questions as quick as we can. Sorry we're running late, guys, but we want to catch up on everyone's questions that we obviously didn't get to with missing an episode last week. So Harlem asks, besides a favorite character that you use a lot, who would you recommend for Red Star upgrades? What would you say?
6 red star ones, or just like overall?
Let's say taking someone up to 6. Who gets like way better when you take them to 6? Let me go through the top of my roster here. Symbiote every day. Symbiote is probably one of the best ones you can do. Black Bolt, obviously. Hela, obviously. Captain Marvel, yeah. I mean, just for Alliance War alone, I see a 6 red star Captain Marvel and go, Jesus.
Yep.
Especially if she's got a military guy in there. Most of the rest of Asgard's not really. Thor. Do you know what? Thor, yeah. Thor can be really irritating in that point. Things like 6 red star things as well. I mean, very specific. I wouldn't go out of my way to do it, but I could make a case.
Sinister.
I mean, I think Thanos is about to be one of those characters. Not that that affects Roy.
Thanos, Sinister.
Do you know what? Punisher to an extent as well. Like a 6 red on Punisher for specific nodes. 6 reds on Yo-Yo. I kind of want to see that, to see if like just that passive AoE difference is actually good. Yeah. But other than that, not really. And then things like some of the minions on certain teams. I think one of the best characters to upgrade right now, if you could take him up, if you had everything else maxed out, would be Rifle Trooper from the Hydra Squad. Because of all the attacks he gets in the opening round, if you had a 6 red star, he's going to rip out 4 attacks in the opening Hydra round. And he hits reasonably hard, so he'd be mine. You need the T4 on him to make it work, though.
Yep. Another outside the box one, Carnage, because you need that damage to get that speed bar. If he's hitting that hard, then it just gets you faster, and you can roll it exponentially better.
True. Very true. Richard Cranium, as a player just getting to 1 million TCP and mostly free to play, would you say it's good long-term red star strategy to buy up all the 1, 2, 3 red stars you can from the store? The idea being that buying those will get more dupes and thus a leap in 4 currency? No, my man. To be honest, you're much better off just getting 4 or 5 specific characters to 4 or 5 red stars instead of everyone to 3. The first strategy, you think it's going to help you with Alliance War, and in the early days it actually will, but you're one guy of 24, and the other 24 guys wouldn't have done that. You're much better off getting the everyday rewards guaranteed from having a really good raid squad and arena squad. Definitely.
Yeah, you want to go top heavy. And you'll eventually get red stars on everyone. Eventually you'll get up to the 2, 3, 4. There's only a very few. I only have 0 or 1 on at this point.
Yeah. A real Mick-ass hoe. Hopefully going to be getting BB at 6 stars this time around and also getting the full Black Order team. I have 1,700 T formats. Should I put them into BB or Black Order? I would wait and see how big your Black Order gets, man. But BB's probably, all 4 of those are game-changing. The Black Order, you need a lot of T4s to finish that squad. Like Proxima alone, all 4 of hers are good.
Yeah, and also Black Bolt's going to help you in pretty much everywhere in the game.
Yeah.
So he's pretty much like a new Ultron. You want to max him.
Indeed. Tack Jericho, maybe I missed something. Weren't we supposed to get an extra 2 red star orbs in a weekly login calendar? Did that get cancelled and I missed it? Was this that thing where it was like the arena and the donation rewards It was something about that.
I think that's what they added to one of the daily challenges,
and they moved
up getting
blues
like
around
a full
or something,
thing
right?
from that.
There was some weird thing. Yeah.
So you end up getting 2 more a week or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't buy their maths. It's mainly lies. B-Rock, hey guys, love the podcast. Getting Black Order, currently going for T12 and 75. Do you think it's worth the mats to gear 13 or up? I know it's hard to say without them here yet. As someone who made the Wakanda leap, wait.
Yeah.
Even on my own video that day, I messed up and accidentally took Corvus to 13. I would not have done that until I see the full thing. I don't trust them to get it right the first time. I have a feeling we're going to get in there and we're going to get Spider-Versed. I have a feeling that people are going to go, hey, I just used my normal Black Bolt Hella team and I wrecked Black Order. And then FoxNext is going to have to turn around and go, all right, well, let's just overtune them to hell, right? Because if they don't,
like they did with Magneto.
That's 2 for 2 that they lied to the community. We've got enough evidence now. They're saying this will dominate the arena. If it doesn't, ultimately, people can process refunds based on that kind of false advertising. So they need to make it work. But based on what we're seeing right now with the stats, there are a couple of pieces of concerns I have for Black Order. There really is. And I need to see Moore's kit before I can make that call.
Which they're probably still working on at this very moment.
I guarantee it, which is why we're screwed, because 1 decimal point's out of place and all of a sudden someone's hitting like Nebula.
Yep.
Ironside, got a 5-star city team for Block Party. Haven't really got anything for the other Flash events. Now that we know they're coming back on a regular basis, which one's going to be the best for someone who is free to play and focus on Mercs and Gold? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, everything flows from gold.
That's definitely the right answer.
You definitely want to get the gold.
Yep. That first, actually. I mean, T4s are good, but gold gets you more. Yeah. Goomba. Yep. I've seen other content creators worried about Black Order breaking Arena. Do you really think it's a problem if everyone on the top just use BO? And I know we don't have full kit for more, but do you think there's a chance that hybrids could still be used? Maybe replacing Phoenix for more. The nature of Red Stars means that most arena shards are not going to be completely dominated by Black Order, at least the first time around. And remember, this is not the first time we danced this dance. This game only ever broke once because of a team being so overpowered, and FoxNext swore, I mean, they've made promises before, that they would never do that again, and that was S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. was so overpowered for the game where it was back then, nothing could beat that at that time.
Now, I don't like to brag, but I did take down S.H.I.E.L.D. teams back in the day. And I got the videos to prove it. So.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. But Lime Ball, when everything was considered equal, they were not beatable. Like, what you had was some of the hybrid characters that were released after S.H.I.E.L.D. was, and that made it much easier. But at that time, line for line, that team was borderline undefeatable. You had to rely on RNG and get lucky. So, yeah. I don't know why they're really worried about it. Mobile games, this is how they work, right? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I will call out BS on, but I am actually surprised FoxNext hasn't done this more frequently. Like, you look at most other games like this, there would be 3 meta teams a year that completely just dominate Arena. And what ends up happening is it'll stay like that for a while, and then one universal character will come out, like a Black Bolt, which you can then put back into a mix and match squad and then wreck everything again. So these kind of metas tend not to last very long. You're talking 3 or 4 months. They'll bring out something that specifically counters this team, and then it'll become... I reckon the next meta roy will be a scissors, paper, rock meta after this.
Yeah.
That's where we're headed.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
It'll probably be boring for a little bit, though. Just all Black Order all the time.
Why is everyone assuming that everyone is going to have Black Order that usable on the first way out? In Beta Shard?
We'll see.
You guys are screwed.
I think I said it a couple of weeks ago. I think when everything's at 4 stars and everything, they'll be manageable. Once they get up in the 6 and 7 red stars, they are going to be unbeatable by anything.
Yeah. And so many people, you're going to have a few Krakens, absolutely. But for most of it, it is not going to change it that much. I can't see that many people getting it, especially because of the yo-yo thing. For those of you that are worried about that being... What's funny is those same content creators, mate, that have been freaking out and posting the skies falling down about Black Order are the same ones that are just why can't we have yo-yo? Right? If they gave them the yo-yo, Black Order would be everywhere. It's which one do you want?
Yeah.
All right.
I still think it's kind of funny. It sucks for you, but we're going to be getting Maw at probably the same stars unless you can get enough Karnak, which is pretty insane.
Oh, I won't be getting him to 7. It'll be 6 guaranteed. But this happens all the time.
Oh, you are? Oh, so you are going to get 6 guaranteed on Maw?
Not on Maw guaranteed. I think it's very doable. If I refresh every day with average luck and I get the whale packs, yeah, I'll get to 6. Yeah. But you're not far behind me.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, but bear in mind, I didn't whale out of the Inhumans the first time. That much. I got Black Bolt, that was about it. All right, Ironside, may have been asked before, if you could choose any DC character to join the game, who would it be and why? For him, it's Green Lantern, so that Deadpool could flog him. I mean, Batman. It's pretty hard to say Batman or the Joker. We need some better villains in this game.
Superman.
Superman's up here.
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
So you can talk to fish. Aquaman versus Namor.
Battle of the Nipples.
Battle of the Nipple.
All right, Fritz the Train. You have to make a 12-hour road trip. What do you want to listen to? Music, podcast, books on tape, the sweet sounds of the highway, a symphony of your own farts after stopping at a Taco Bell, which you obviously do because it's so delicious, or some combination thereof. Taco Bell.
Symphony of farts.
Taco Bell podcast and music for me. Books on tape doesn't do it for me. I fall asleep.
I'm going to listen to the complete library of Strike Force Masters of Launch.
I don't know if I could do that. I've been criticizing myself so much going, I don't agree with that.
Like this Chew guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
G-Money 68. I'm in Alliance. It doesn't go for 50% of beta or alpha raids. No line assignments anywhere. Got backlash from asking everyone else to do 5 arenas a day. Sorry, this got real broken English about halfway through. I'm trying to translate this from hieroglyphics in real time. So he's 6.18 million TCP. Dude, you just change Alliance. If you're 6.18 TCP, you're ahead of me. you should be in Alliance that's better than mine. So, yeah, man, just go out and hunt for another Alliance. Anyone's doing less than 50% when they have that kind of team score is probably someone that tries to take every team up and they don't specify on raid teams. So I'd skip.
Yeah, that's the most important thing in this game. Find an Alliance that matches how hardcore you are.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just going to suck.
Absolutely. Space Cowboy 79. Off topic. Chew. What kind of bike did you get and why? When lockdown is over, what rides are you looking forward to? So I got a Silverback. I don't know what brand that is, but it was basically a sturdier frame that holds the super fat people like myself. That's why I got that one. It wasn't crazy expensive, but it's still very good. And it has fat boy tires. Not proper fat boys, but like halfway between. So they won't fit in a standard... I can't remember what those things are called, where you can like take the back off and you can put it in your lounge room and use it like an exercise bike. You can't do it with that because the tires are too wide, which means I can do a little bit of hard sand riding. So lockdown eased a little bit so we can exercise at the moment outside for about 1 hour a day, but you're not allowed to leave your residential area. So I've taken the bike out twice, is literally riding around our apartment complex. And I can tell you that having to wear a mask in 46 degrees Celsius heat when riding a bike when you haven't exercised in a year is like, honestly, I was out of like bodily liquids after about 3 laps. I had to go back inside and drink, man. I was like, oh, this is rough. My heart rate was like, I was not out of breath, but my heart rate was like 170 because obviously the heat was just destroying me and I was breathing so much of my own CO2 from that friggin' mask that I think I was just choking on it. So what I am looking forward to in the cooler months, man, is where we live. We're kind of out in the suburbs in a new area that was built. And we didn't know it when we moved here, but the bike track that goes right out into the middle of the desert starts about 100 meters up the road from our house. So once the lockdowns are finished, I can actually literally ride out into the middle of the desert, man. And there's like flamingos and camels and stuff out there. I've driven out there before. It's awesome. But there's a bike track that goes all the way out there as well. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing. And when I finally am able to do that and resurrect gamers with grit, I'm actually going to strap a GoPro onto the bike so you guys can see that ride.
Live stream your rides.
That's it. And then the other one, I'll just do my iPhone, put it at my face. So you can just basically see like 4 chins with sweat dripping off it. That's it. And then just all of a sudden you just see, I'm just like a double bacon cheeseburger. Thanks, mate. As I ride through a drive-thru.
And then you need a wide shot so you can jump up and down like Blob after he wins. to show your moves.
What was that thing I was reading in game the other day? It was saying he has his own gravitational pull or something on one of the loading screens.
That's in the loading screen thing.
Fick Nuri, here's a twist on the what to use in DD3 question. If you had a metric ton of gear, T4s and red stars for a particular meta team, what would you want to use for DD3? Shield because of their control and sustain? God, no.
There is no sustain.
No, and their damage is way too low. Aim for their damage mitigation. Asgardians for Greg.
There is no damage mitigation.
I'd probably say Asgardians is probably the best of those, actually, because every couple of runs, even if you got boned, you're going to get just Thor coming out and swinging for the moon.
Yeah, Asgardians or Black Order. Those would be the top two.
Black Order, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I think you're right, but yeah, I just don't know. Halcyon, just unlocked Minerva. Congrats, man. I wanted your opinion on if any of the rest of the crew are worth doing anything with. Ronan, Korath, etc. Ronan, yes, and the minions, yes, because you're going to need them to unlock some of the other legendary characters. And to be honest, the crew's a decent little team. And one of the Greek raids, Gamma, I want to say, Roy, the one we're doing now. Having a good Kree team in there is actually very, very good to be able to cruise through the first half of that raid.
Yes, and eventually Korath is good for the highest Catalyst challenge, but that's way off.
Yeah, he's one of those specialist pitch hitters where you can bring him in for certain things and he just does great work. Razor Rock, was there no podcast last week? Didn't see any announcements about it. There wasn't. We announced 2 different messages, one from me and one from Roy, basically saying we couldn't do it, man. So one was in announcements, one was in general chat. So we did post as to why not. Yeah. But yeah, that's why you want to be in the Masters Launch Discord, folks. Jabroni number 5, hope you guys are both doing well. Now that we know most of the Black Order kits, who has the most potential at high reds, I still think it's going to be Cull is the one you need the highest.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then Corvus can be really good because if you get him at high red stars, like someone did, then he'll be some very nice damage.
Did you watch my video with gameplay the other day?
I've not got a chance to, no.
So I was about 6 a.m. in the morning. I was so sleep deprived because my kid did not sleep that night. Someone actually pointed out, hey, man, that character is better than you think it is. Go back and watch that video. I'm like, okay. Rewatched it, and he's not wrong. At one stage, he hit for like 176k.
And that's
4 stars.
4 and 4?
Yeah, so that was with the perfect storm of offense up on him, defense down, and defense up on them, and he had stealth. So he just crit a hole in the space-time continuum. All right, final question. Thanks for sticking with us, folks. Do you think, says Legacy, that the Black Order becomes the new arena defense and offense, with only Chuck Norris can cut Chuck Norris? And if so, what are your thoughts on some or all in DD3 Cosmic nodes? That is actually a very good question, Roy. Offense, it seems like insta-win no matter what. Defense is what worries me.
Yes, it will depend on red stars and yellow stars to go with those red stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can't say for sure until we see Maw's kit, which no one has seen because it doesn't exist all the way.
Look, I think Maw, they have to make him a bit broken. I think he's about to probably become the best legendary character in the game. Because who is the best legendary at the moment? It has to be Black Bolt, right? Yep. So you need that level of character in a support. And you need to go big for that. So the fact you've got a character that's going to do turn meter manipulation, I think he's going to be a character that's going to go everywhere. I think that Scientist Supreme is about to be upgraded. I think everywhere you use Scientist Supreme right now, you're about to drop her and probably use more. Until we see that kit, I don't know for sure. But I think he's going to be a plug-and-play everywhere character. I kind of hope, Roy, they don't make him too Black Order-centric with what he does.
I mean, if from what we saw of what they talked about, the kit, it sounds like he will be useful a lot of places outside of a full Black Order. So there's hope with that.
So someone leaked a while ago that one of the people from Fox, and let's remember how much they know how to play their own game, that one of them was suggesting that Thanos and Maw would basically be a hybrid team together. Now, I don't see why you would split Thanos of all those things into any other team, unless there is something unbelievably ridiculous that Maw gives Thanos. So there was a rumor circulating about that. Who knows if it's true?
Yeah. As for the DD3, saying as one who's used a 7 red star Thanos in DD3, I would not suggest him. Maybe Maw, We'll have to see with him. Proxima has gotten some good feedback because she's so fast, which is what you need, good. And she has the stun, so she's worth it. Maybe Corvus if you have high reds, because he can hide a lot in stealth, and then he can hit stuff that is in stealth or outside of taunt. So he could be good if you have high stars on him.
And the frequent taunt drops as well. Because if you take Proxima Corvus in there, man, like that's ultimately on each one of their turns, you can dispel up to 3 buffs.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Roy, anything else before we start winding this bad boy up?
No, that's going to do it.
Excellent. So look, thanks for sticking for this one, guys. It was a bit longer. We wanted to sort of do a catch-up episode for all of you out there. So make sure you go over and join that Discord channel, Strikeforce Masters of Launch. Hit me up directly if you have any issues at Chewburger84. And make sure you submit your questions ready for next week as well. Now, if you did enjoy this and you want to get on board and help us get to our next goal, we're discussing, it's only in discussions at the moment, of seeing if there is a way for us to do live recordings of this that people can either watch at the time on Patreon or perhaps watch back at another stage. Whether that's live recorded or video, we're trying to work out logistics. But ultimately, you know, the more support we have there, the more we can kind of do back for the community in that regard. So if you want to support us on Patreon, www.patreon.com/SFMOL. And then make sure, folks, that if you haven't done so already, go over and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. If it is a 5-star review, we will read it out like Roy did at the top of the next show. Make sure you check out me at Alternerd Reality on YouTube. That's ALTERNERD. And you can also listen to this and our other podcasts on ANR Podcast channel. We did separate those two for video and audio. And I will be streaming at twitch.tv/Chewburger84. I'll be back in the saddle as of the release of this podcast. Roy, take us on out of here.
Yes, I'm BigRoyAwesome on YouTube and Twitch. Twitch, I'm still just going to be streaming on Mondays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, which is a bit after we record this every Monday. Also, very good news, I'm starting back work on my video game after all this time. Hopefully, I want to finish it out before the end of the year. Also, I have my own Discord, BigRoyAwesome, which you can find the link in from a few different places, or just message me on Discord. I'll actually be posting a brand new original song that I recorded, or that I've created for the game. So you'll be able to find that exclusive content on my Discord on there. And that's going to do it. Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay tuned and stay awesome.